welcome to Gear Gripe. It's early in the morning, I'm getting ready for work, and I decided to make this video before I return one of these bags. This is the Aer Travel 3 in Ultra, and it's the large, not the small one, and this is the Tortuga 40-liter Pro. I did own the light, and I did return that. It just was not the bag for me. Lighter weight, which was great. The bag just was not a fit for me. So I decided to get this one because these two tend to be the most comparable in what they are. And there's not a lot of reviews online about it. So I bought this one, decided this is the one I'm gonna get. We're done. Got the travel kit to go with it, my set for my trip coming up to New York. This one, I thought, well, you know, I haven't tried the Tortuga Pro yet, and technically it's not a comparison if I don't do it. The good news is this is offered on Amazon, so if you want to see it on Amazon, you can order it, get it back, try it, and then send it back. So that was, I thought, you know, let's just do that. So I had a trip to go on a work trip this past weekend, and I went to take this one. I got it all packed up. It was extremely frustrating. It's not totally clamshell. It doesn't fit everything you need for a work trip. A work trip is just different. So I got out my big old rolly bag and just took that. And I did pack light. The difference is I needed jeans, I needed a sweatshirt, I needed this thing for work. It's not meant for that. So though I only kind of travel local, or I travel just in this, you know, like my small bubble as the places I go, this is not meant for that. And that was unfortunate to me. Again, I didn't pack that much. It just does not pack much. It's meant for packing cubes. It's meant for those light trips. It's meant to go to, you know, somewhere for the weekend with your friends, and all you're doing is packing these like lightweight pants that just scroll down to like this, they fold down to like this big. So that's what this is for. I got very frustrated. I stopped packing this, decided to take a different bag. So I almost returned it, which is why I got the 40-liter. I thought, well, maybe I could have done my work trip if I would have had this. Maybe I need this instead so I could do work travel, and I could do, you know, travel with my daughter coming up. But here's the thing, this is kind of what I've decided. And one of these is definitely going back, because that's why I'm doing it on my way to work, so I can take one on way back to work, because like I've said before, this is sitting on my credit card, and with a large family of 7 of us, I really can't choose to have a bag that long. So it comes in its box, the box is right there. And I try it out. I ask my entire family what they think, because I don't totally trust myself all the time. So I ask everybody what they think, how it looks, how it feels, because sometimes you can get confused, you know, and I do at least. So, and everybody try it on both bags on. I asked everybody's opinion, because this journey has kind of been a really long journey over the last 6 months. I kind of want to not end the journey, but just not be so intense on trying to find those packs that meet my needs. I also did have the 45 liter Peak Design travel backpack, which I made in an earlier video that I was going to keep it just kind of for nostalgia, because it was like so special to me. I ended up selling it on Facebook Marketplace because my collection's gotten big, and I realized the only reason I was keeping the Peak Design 45 liter was for nostalgia, because it was my first bag and I've had it for so long. But I've realized I won't ever use it again. It is so uncomfortable. And that bag, I just sold it, and it was unfortunate, but I sold it. I sold the wash pouch, the tech pouch, all of it together. Love that tech pouch, had it for a long time, but decided just to sell it. Wasn't worth keeping it, because I like the alpaca tech pouch better. My whole family agrees. But it wasn't that it was bad. It was great for the time that I had it. It just wasn't working with my needs anymore. The older I get, things that are heavier, I just have a different set of needs now. So some lucky person is taking that to Eastern Europe, which I'm so excited for them. Gave them a great deal. So I'm now needing another travel backpack, because Peak Design is now no longer an option. And so, which is sad, because I really did love that bag. Worked for years. It just, you know, our needs change. So let's just get to which one I decided to keep. This is just the gripes. It's nothing else. So in looking at the two, and by the way, the light is just not a part of this conversation. That bag is not for me. It is not comfortable. I didn't like the way it just opens, the way it works. It has some really good features, but it just screams I'm a tourist, and it just didn't have the features that I need, and some features that I just didn't understand if you're trying to make a bag lightweight. So these two, I would say, are comparable in the way they feel and just a lot of things. So these are just the gripes, because there's a lot of videos on Hooray, you know, how great they are. They both stand up though, if I had them on the floor, but it's just me recording. I don't have like a team of people. So they both stand up really good on the floor. I am gonna show you the differences, and again, my gripes. The first one is the gripes on that. This is Aer Tortuga. I'm not gonna keep saying it. It's just so, because my brain, it's kind of foggy. It's early morning. The straps on this, I don't like how they go on. These little buckles on this side, they are so hard to use. They're not fast. So if you're going through like TSA or you're traveling anywhere, you just want to take them off, you better get good at doing it. I mean, it is a system. The good news is they're never going to come off while you're walking, but to clip this here and to go on is easy, but to get this off and then to get it off your bag, it's going to take some time. And if it's heavy and you're swinging that thing around and you're setting it down, this is just not something I want to deal with. But I will say, you do have to use them, at least for me. It made all the difference. Now, the good thing is that you can carry this bag without these, and it feels fine. I just like this for those days that I'm walking around hours and hours and hours. This to me is a huge game changer, but you don't have to use them. On the Tortuga, you have to use them. And then when I started looking around, if you look on their website and you look at people like wearing them, everybody's bags are suspended as they use these. Well, let me say something about these. They're huge. And it just screams, I'm a tourist, I've got things in here, and to me, they are too big. And it's not like they're so amazing. But here's the thing, they have to be so big because the bag is not usable without them. You have to have them. It's not an option. On this, you have the option. You can take them off, it's just as comfortable. When my husband wore it, he said he wouldn't even use these. He said it was totally comfortable without it. And, God, I keep dropping that one. And out of both of the bags, my husband said that this one was by far the most comfortable, and no one in my family thought this one was more comfortable. Probably because no one had it with this on, and when you look again on their website, look at the pictures really close to kind of zoom in, and you'll see every person has it suspended. And when you read it and talk to other people, the point of these is it is carrying 80% of the weight as everything is coming off your shoulders. Well, guy or girl, whoever you are, your body shape, that doesn't work for everyone. My weight has changed, and this doesn't work with every time. If you have your midsection might be wider or smaller, or your chest is bigger or smaller, or you're taller or bigger. This doesn't, they are so stiff. I just would never use this right here. I just think it makes you look like such a tourist, and when you look like a tourist, you look like a target. And on a work trip though, I do think this one would be better. But my son said it's basically a suitcase with arms. And that's basically what it is. I think he summed it up just great. This is a suitcase with arms. It is a box with arms. And he did not see the functionality. And when he said it like that, I was like, really, it's just a suitcase with arms. And you are having a suitcase style just on your back. But these, I do say though, the Tortuga, this is how they go on. They just slip right in here, which is really nice. So right here, if you can see it, this slips right in here. And then your waist strap is on. So if you're a person that sees yourself taking these on and off frequently, you might like these. And that might just be the whole selling point right there. So again, I really think out of the two, these are awful. Here's the thing, I would never use them. They're so big, and on a lighter, smaller framed woman and I'm only 5'6", and I would say these would be horrible. I just personally, and the goal of the bag is that these hold 80% of the weight. And I learned that later. And I was like, oh my gosh, I don't want to have to rely on these when I'm traveling. That's awful, because it's not always something you can do on the subway, off the subway, in a cab, out of a cab, even for just traveling local like I did. This is just not always the option. I'm going from the hotel to the car, and I can't put these on. And that's the trouble I had in New York City when I went with my daughter with the Peak Design. Even that one's attached. All I had to do was like take it out of the magnets and put it on. And I didn't even then half the time, because there was no time. Then when I did use that one, it just didn't do anything. It just made everything hurt worse. So the Peak Design it is meant for short trips. It is not meant for carry over 30 minutes, which is why that one's gone. My trip to New York City was miserable because of the weight of the Peak Design plus everything else in it. Also, with those higher weights like this one, it does make you pack more. So I don't think that's worth it. If I was to do my work trip again to just that was just hotel, parking lot, hotel, because I drove, I would take this because it's a suitcase with arms. That makes sense. And guess what? I wouldn't need the waist strap because I'm local, right? There's no reason for that. This is something if you're actually going to travel. I would, after owning this one for the week I've had it, I would never take this overseas. You look like a target with the big square design that says, I have a computer in it. I mean, look at me, I have a computer. And it just sticks out, the shape. No one in my family thought this was good looking at all. Everyone thought this one was smooth looking. But here's the thing, I have the Ultra. I don't think I would do this in Cordura at all. In fact, I don't think I would have either backpack. I would do this in the Ultra or nothing. For the X Pack, I don't like that for travel either. The inside is just way too bright, way too attention seeking. I have maybe a different point of view when I travel, that I don't want to be the center of attention. I don't want people to look at me. I don't want to look like I have money. Because I mean, I don't have money, but to others of other countries, that's not necessarily what's communicated. So a bag like this, everybody in my family said the same thing. By the way, the gold or the flecks and the glitter that people talk about, I don't really see it. Maybe I'm just not looking. This does not scream I have money. When you look at it, you're carrying it. The shape is better. It's more minimalistic. I mean, my husband said both were way too big, but he would travel with a lot less. This though, it is better for being out and about. And I'm going to talk about another gripe here that is very different about both. By the way, this is my 16-inch. It's a humongous computer. It's extremely heavy, and it fits fine in both of these. But here's the other thing when you're talking about weight. If I carried a 13-inch computer in here that was lightweight, it wouldn't matter the weight of the bag. I think sometimes we get so caught up in the weight of the bag, but then we pack a heavy pair of shoes, which doesn't make any sense. Wear your heavy shoes and pack no shoes. So if you're going to be one of those people, you're just going to pack no shoes, everything completely light, and you're going to be gone for weeks on end. You don't care that you look like, a tourist, and you want out all the weight on your hips. This is a great bag for you. But for most people, I would say this is better. And Nomads Nation and some of those websites and some of those places say, this is the best bag, this is the best bag. I just don't see it. Maybe I'm missing something here. Maybe you have something to share with me. So let me tell you some other gripes. This one, and honestly, here's the other thing, like I'm gonna say again, if you get this, get it in Ultra. The X Pack, I just don't think is for international travel, in my opinion. If you're gonna go more minimalistic looking, that bright orange interior in an overseas environment, to me would just say Target. And this is just, the green on the inside is subtle, but you can still see your stuff without screaming you're a tourist. This is a good bag if I was going to any country. Now, if you want to have multiple bags for different countries, that's absolutely great. I had one choice, I would do this one. It's comfortable. I would say maybe a 7 out of 10, an 8 out of 10. I thought it'd be a 10 out of 10 in this mattress experience. It's not that. So maybe bring your expectations down a little bit. I think compared to everything out there, it's probably the most comfortable. And remember, you're just carrying a lot of weight on your back. But if you want it to be as light as possible, carry less. Don't carry heavy shoes. Think about thinking like these athletic pants that are very lightweight. They look good at a Broadway show, but they look good as you're walking around town, and they're very, very small. So in spending all this money on a bag, think about what is going in the bag. It might be worth it to spend some money on lightweight clothing to go in the bag. And then the weight of the bag becomes less of a consideration. Now, not even talking about weight here. This one is lighter, but I'm not talking about weight because I cannot pack a pair of shoes. I can pack lightweight clothes. So what I put in my bag is just as much contributing to the weight as the weight of the bag. So weight isn't even a consideration in my gripe video right now. Let's talk again. So one thing that is much better on this one is the compression straps, because my husband said if he had to take it somewhere, he would use these straps in a heartbeat and compress it down. There is no compression option on this bag. Let's talk about the back. If you look at the back here, this one, it's like a gripe, but it's a good thing. These do not come down. They stick out all the time. You're not going to get them to come down. So if you get on an airplane, that might be a gripe for you. It is a gripe for me. But again, on the other side, it's what makes the bag comfortable. I do wish they would have taken this right here and put it this way. So at least maybe I could have tried to tuck them down in there a little bit. I'm gonna have to think of another option to get these to be more compressed when I get on a plane, because this right here is gonna make the TS, any representative on a plane say, hey, ma'am, you probably need to pack that. So I do not be, again, I try to be not on display or let anybody notice that I'm carrying anything heavy or concerned that I need to take my bag and check it. So a way to have this to be able to be, down would be great. And that's one great thing about the Peak design. You can just hide those straps. This one, you don't have to worry about it. They're already gonna stay flat. And so It's already flat here. It's not gonna come up, it's not gonna be firm in this way, it's gonna stay down. This right here, this panel right here where you can take it, come up and down, I think I found pretty useless only because I'm not 6'3", and trying to find that sweet spot is, I don't even know, you have to have multiple people helping you or one person helping you trying to find that sweet spot because it's really hard to see on your own. I don't think it's really necessary unless you're 5'2" or you're, 6'2". But for most people in this, like in between, like 5'5" to like, 5'11", even 6 foot. I mean, I think where it's at is fine right here. Now also look at the difference in the way that the shoulder straps are. And you can see it right here. I have this up pretty high and you can still see that there's a lot of flap and give here. And you can see here, look at that, it right is at the top, if you can see that. If you also look at this one right here, I'll show you real quick. If you look, it also kind of comes out a little bit. If you can see how it comes up and out. And that's what's gonna also keep a lot of this on the top of your shoulders and be more comfortable. The straps too here, they come out in a better way that does not eat into your neck. It comes out, so the curvature of these are better. These are not as soft as I did hope, definitely not a mattress experience. It is very firm, especially because of the Ultra, but the shape of it makes it more comfortable. And remember, you do not need the waist belt. The waist belt is an addition. I would keep the waist belt with me and use it when I needed it, but you don't have to have it. And that is just because you can see the difference. They're meant to stick out, they come up higher, this curves over, and that's great. So let's talk about the gripe for this one, and let's hope I don't lose everything again. The gripe for this one is you just don't see that. I mean, look at this, it's heavier. So not only are we in a heavier bag, but because they've added all this for people who are extra tall or kind of extra on the petite side, you've got this extra weight and it just flops. It doesn't come up. If you look here, there's nothing kind of curving and helping. And that's because they're depending on the waist belt to help you. And the waist belt's ugly and it's huge. And it's, yeah, it can come on and off easy, but it's huge. With the other waist belt, I just left it on. I just tucked it behind me and just kind of kept walking. I don't think you have to have the waist belt come on and off. This one, you do. It is so big, you have to take the waist belt on and off. And you can see the difference here. I mean, look at the difference in that. I also got this in Ultra too. I mean, that to me is just absolutely significant. And this one, well, that's not that one, no. That zipper, that whole situation, I personally don't like. Again, my goal is to be minimalistic and not show when people see me walking. The other thing that I have to gripe about this bag, which to me is probably the biggest of all the gripes, is the zippers. If you look at the zippers on this, I'm actually shocked that they can call this a premium bag. And here's the thing, they're the exact same cost. This I got for what's like $350, I got on sale for $330. This is $300 in Ultra, and add the waist belt for $30, you're at the exact same cost. But the zippers on this bag, they almost make me a little angry because they're so bad. Now to you, they may not be bad, but to me, again, I have a big family, so I see things being a little bit different. The first thing is I might have a defective bag. I'm not exactly sure, but I'm gonna try to show you the zipper. It's not even like a straight zipper. It goes on this, like goes off the track as it goes around right here. So you've got this like really bumpy thing right here. And the zipper is really thin and chintzy and it catches. Like right here, can you see how it's not even straight? And it goes like this. And right there, it catches again, right there. And so it kind of is like real catchy and stuff. It's really bizarre, but the zippers are bad. They don't have a straight track. If you put your hand on it, you go like this, you can feel it. And it's not the way it should be. And maybe you're different and you think that's the way it should be. I don't think that's the way it should be. I think the zippers are they might be waterproof, they might be very durable zippers, but the way that they are on the track is concerning to me. I would not believe I could just zip, go crazy with, there it is again. I wouldn't trust these zippers. On these things, wow, the zippers are absolutely amazing. And look at that chunky zipper. I mean, that zipper is perfect. Look at that long, can you see that thick? See how big and thick that is? And then you look here, look at that. It's real thin. And That might be because it's better. I don't think it's better. This is nice. When I look at the zipper, that zipper is awesome. And right here, my zipper is gonna make it. And they might be a little bit firm, but if you're going on a long trip, this is what you want. This is what you want. That's why it didn't work for my office trip that I went on recently. It didn't work for that because it's not meant to go to a work trip for a weekend to a hotel where I have to do conferences and, bring my, my suit or bring, something very fancy for, a dinner, lots of changes of clothes. No, it didn't work. I brought a rolly luggage and it worked just fine. I would do that again. I wouldn't try to do a backpack for a short trip like that. So this right here is great. They're also here is not really, I just like the way this one is better with its organization as well. From talking to all my family too, they said the inside of this bag, they didn't like the color, they didn't like the layout. My family wasn't trying to be haters, but it's just not the better bag. This right here, it's fine, but the one, so water bottle pockets. So that's it here. I don't like when they do these little gussets right here. See that little thing right there? That's what they have on the City Pack Pro, and I hate it because the water bottle always gets caught on it when it's going in. You go to put your water bottle in, and it catches right there on this. Clunk, clunk. And so it makes me not want to use the water bottle on my Air and my Air City Pack Pro, but it's weird. On this one, it's fine. Here, this is like the Air City Pack Pro. It catches right there. On this one, my husband was actually really shocked. He's like, that's the water bottle? I said, yeah, isn't that cool? Now, of course, one of the downers is you can't have a water bottle in it and compress it because it's in here. But that's great for when you need it, and when you don't, it's gone. And he didn't even know it was there. He's like, that's a water bottle pocket. I'm like, yeah. But you got to think about your compression straps in the water bottle, and if you want to use that. The handles for both of them, they're both really good. I would say this one's a little more comfortable, but I have to say overall for the price of the bag, my family was extremely shocked to hear that they were the same price because this is by far the more premium bag. I will say when it comes to companies, I don't know anything about Tortuga's, like the company itself. I have had problems with Air in the past, so I have a real struggle making this video just because Air has been a struggle. The company of Air is not something not a model I really agree with. So that's why I have two bags, the Air City Pack Pro 2 and this one, but I will not order any more bags from Air. So it's unfortunate, but the short story is I have the City Pack Pro 2. It came with something in it. I wrote the company and said, this is a used bag. They said, basically, well, you tried it on at home, so oh well. And the conversation back and forth was very odd. So they were rude and defensive, but I had someone else's business cards in my bag. So they said I put them there so I could get a discount. So they offered me a discount. I said, no, thank you. I don't want a discount. But I'll use it on a future bag. So I knew I was going to buy this one. They said, okay, we'll give you 10% on your next order. I said, fine. Because I still don't know if I have a used bag. And they swore to me that it was me, not them. Whatever. They can win that battle. At the end of the day, whatever. Got my 10% off on my next order. They did not honor that. They gave me 10% off an item, but did not give me 10% off my order. So just little things like that are bothersome to me because most people who are going to buy these bags and go through all this hassle of 2 weeks of getting it, 2 weeks of sending it back, 3 weeks to get a credit, aren't going to be out there to swindle them for $10. So the fact that they treated me like I was going to be a criminal was upsetting. But I will say, as much as the company bothers me, there is no bag out there like this. The bag that's this heavy that you don't have to use the compression strap, that you don't have to use, the straps with. So those are pretty much my gripes. I think the company gripe is probably one of my biggest gripes. But again, at the end of the day, I need something that I can travel with my daughter as I go to New York coming up. By the way, that's a secret. She doesn't know. I think when you travel with children, what you want changes as well. And when I think about traveling with a child, I think about this. I can pack minimally. I could put, a lot of our souvenirs in here. I can also ship our souvenirs home. That's another thing you do is ship them home. So if I have to, this is it. And I also have the Air Go, the one that's like $99. That's a stuff all. I have a video about that one. My daughter took that one. She's 10 and she uses it in her backpack for school. She got rid of her other backpack and she takes that one. and I'll add a video of that. It's such a cute video. So I actually have 3 backpacks from Aer. I forgot about the Go, but my daughter loves that backpack. Out of every backpack I own, the Able Carry 13 is the one my kids like the most, and me. And that Go Air is the other one my entire family loves the most. Prettiest, most comfortable, just everything. So interesting. It's not the ones you hear about online all the time as the best bags. This one is good, but I do have my gripes, mostly with the company and the fact that I can't take it everywhere. It is limited capacity. And I would say one last gripe, there's just too many pockets and too many places to put things. I do think they could have definitely decreased that to decrease the amount of weight on the inside pouch here, which you've seen in other videos, I'm sure. Another one of my gripes though is I really wish they would have, this one opens a lot better. This one, when you're packing it out, can be a little bit annoying because it goes clamshell, but then it falls on you. So when you're packing this, don't pack anything in here. Save this to completely last. Pack this first. So this way the whole thing doesn't like fall on you. I found that extremely frustrating because the sides aren't very like firm. Also, when you put things in your drop pocket here at the top, wait to the very end because it just takes up all the space of the middle bag. So I don't think when I packed this out the first time, I realized pack the middle, then pack here, then pack here, then pack here, because you have to go to a certain order, which is kind of a gripe as well. I just want to pack my bag, but that does not work for this. You have to pack in a sequence. There is a sequence. This, I'd say this, maybe top, and then here, and then front. But man, the space does eat in. I had like just like underwear and socks in here. No, does not work because it eats into this. It ate into this. Oh, and here's the other thing. My other gripe with this. My other gripe with this is actually the first thing you have to pack is put your computer in, because I packed this whole thing out for my conference, went to put my bag in or my computer in. It did not fit. It would not work at all. So take the order back. I would do computer first, then pack the center, then pack here, and then pack here. But if you don't pack in a sequence, you'll probably end up hating the bag. So I learned that the first time. So when I go to New York, I'm going to pack in a sequence. Now, I would say with this one, you don't have to do that because it's bigger. It is bigger. And because it is 40 liter, it is bigger, and you will be able to put your computer in it first, last, it doesn't matter. It'll fit just fine. But again, a suitcase with arms does not seem to be comfortable as I'm trying to travel around. And I do think this just screams tourist. And I don't like the zippers. The material is okay. But even though I showed my whole family all the great pockets and all the great stuff, they were like, it's just going to get heavier because you're carrying more stuff you don't need. And I agree with my family and myself you don't need this much. This forces you to pack small and to pack light and probably to buy different clothes to put in your bag. So my other gripe on this is that you do have to pack in a sequence. It's over-designed. And I would say taking some of that out would be good, because honestly, the only thing you could probably put in this is like a notebook or something like it can't get snagged at all. If you have that one thing, like a belt, I guess, I don't know. Anything I put in here, ate into here, it was very frustrating. The sequence of packing on this bag is very important, or you're probably not gonna like it, to be honest. So that's it. That is the whole video. There's lots of little other features you can look up when you do research on these bags. I didn't show you everything. It's just mostly the gripes. So which one's going back? The Tortuga. And by the way, it doesn't stand on its own as well either. I mean, you can tell there's like hardly anything in this but a packing cube. I mean, look at that thing. It's really nice and firm. We sit in a lobby somewhere. It's just, it just stays up straight. But you can compress it if you have to and make this thing come down lower. This is just always kind of shrunky. It doesn't really ever just kind of stand up. You really have to really maneuver it. It almost too, if you want to talk about materials, it almost feels like a sleeping bag material. It almost is like something I need to sleep in. It's real thick and chunky, but it's almost like a sleeping bag material, if that makes any sense at all. So, and even this, this is way over designed as well. They're just a lot over designed. I'm interested to try maybe Nomad's Nation's new bag for £2, see if I like that one. But I just need lighter, yes, but just not so over designed. Everything's just really over designed. But this is the one I'm gonna take after I'll go to New York. And after I go to New York, I'll tell you if I liked it or not. Hopefully I will, because my return window will be done by then. So I hope you guys have a great day at work if you're headed off to work right now, or if you're ending your day, I hope you have a great night. Bye-bye.